everybody, it's Charisma of Charisma's Corner, and we are in the Little Pink Barn, and today is a great day. We are working on Jamboree. What a fun name. I just think it's festive and it goes along with so many great things, and it's a great way to use a jelly roll or two. This takes a background of 1 1/4 yards, and then you need 60 2.5 inch strips, or you can use 20 1/4 yard cuts of fabric. So not a fat quarter, but a regular 1/4 yard cut, and then you need your binding. So this one behind me was made with a Renee Nanaman line with Andover, and it's called Petite Beehive, and it's very warm colors with little sweet designs. The one on the cover is like really brightly colored because that's usually my aesthetic, and I love it all. It all looks great. And for my demonstration block today, I'm actually using some scraps that I have of another Andover line and scraps from my Dreamweaver collection, which is launched, but it will arrive in shops in spring of 2026. So that's my first collection with Andover fabrics, and I'm over the moon excited to work with them. And so I've been doing a lot of tutorials with Andover fabrics. I still work with a lot of fabric companies, but I design fabric specifically for Andover. So to start our Jamboree block, we have several little units here, and we are going to start with 4 2.5 inch squares. That's the center part of our block, and we're just going to sew those together. So I don't really care which colors go next to which, but I am going to go ahead and nestle that seam. So now we're going to put a frame around that 4 patch, and in this case we have this yellow color here. So we're going to create that little box next. I love this kind of sewing because you can just cut it all out and then chain piece all of this off the machine. I kind of love to have a mindless sewing project while I am sewing sometimes, just because I need to check out of reality, put on a good show, listen to some music. Okay, so now we have that part done, and now we need to do our outer border, and these ones use the stitch and flip method to create sort of this little windmill pattern. And then in the corner of each of these we have another 2.5 inch square. So that's how we build the block. But in order to do this little unit here, I have 2 background squares that are 2.5, and I went ahead and marked the line. And then you just have to make sure that you have them going in the proper orientation to make sure that you get that sort of whirligig effect. And so I have them in place. The line is going the way that they need to, and I'm just going to go ahead and sew down that line. So now we're just going to go ahead and sew these to this main piece, and then we need to sew these corner squares to these ends and sew this together. Go ahead and sew those together, and if you want to pin those seams, that's perfectly fine. I'm just going to try to nestle those. Okay, and here's the Jamboree block. I love the way that that turns out. I love the motion that it gives, but also what I really like is that we have kind of this secondary sawtooth star when they all come together. So you kind of get that secondary design, and I love when you can get a secondary design from a quilt. I just think it adds a little bit of extra sparkle to it. So thank you for joining me. Please share your Jamboree blocks or your Jamboree quilt or any quilt that you make from any of my designs. I love to see them. I love to see them pop up on social media. And I do have Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, of course. So please like, share, and let me know if you'd like any certain one of my patterns as a tutorial. And until then, bye.